coming soon, but first we're gonna get this thing on Writer, and we'll start booting that up. If anybody has requests for tutorials, I will consider making some tutorials. They take a long time to do. I spend about an hour a minute, or I did for my UEFN-based content. And if there are targeted tutorials that people think that I'm doing things they like and they would like some commentary on it, would like some help doing it, and I get some comments and likes on comments, I will make them. Yeah, so go ahead, ask. When I was working with UEFN, the most useful content anybody found of mine was a grind rails thing, and I released that released the grind rails video in 48 or 72 hours after the feature was added, and so and it was a super desired feature, so it was obvious that it was going to be okay. People still watch. A few hundred people a month still watch it. It's useful, great. But if you think that there's something that I could help you with in Unreal proper, I can definitely make a specific, fairly small tutorial about it. I don't particularly, there's a lot of ground in UE that is really well covered already. A ton of it. I don't want to make I could make a 5-hour video about how to make a tower defense game in Unreal, but that would take me a lot of work and it would delay the release of my game. I can't do it. If you have small focused things that you want information on, I can do mini tutorials, but I'm not going to be doing really big stuff until after I release. Because once I get the first multiplayer release out, which I'm hoping will be soon, yeah, then maybe I'll have time, more focus. It's really more about focus than time. Okay, here we go. Guitar time. design engine, fine. All right, let's see here. This is ready to go. Visual Studio Compiler is not a preferred version. I moved 4 versions ahead, and I can't. All right, well, I'm not going to argue with Unreal today. Let's see here. Let's get this up here to where my restream. I can see chat. Say hi if anybody says hi. All right, and we should be compiling. Oh, wow. Oh, it decided to do a full recompile. Well, that'll take me a little while. Okay. Mostly as is. Chapters 9 to 16. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, we're getting into linking. Great. Okay, but where's my build? Fine, you installed Riderlink. Great. Where the heck is my build? I have work to do. Okay. Finally, we get this much. All right, well, let's ask a question of the AI, at least while I'm sitting here. Claude Sonnet, please. Claude. Access model sonnet. NPM to native installer. Oops. All right, fine. And then let's see here. What is the, oh, where, hey. Think. No. What would be the advantages, drawbacks, backs of switching from UE 5.5 to whatever's new and marginally LTS like? Okay. Engine bug fixes cuts off August 25th. Oh, well, that's August 2025. Upgrade trade-offs. Though less relevant, well, I guess I could use Lumen. Better cooling and total profiling, platform SDKs for consoles, stores if you target them. That's problematic. All my custom projects need lead recompile and verification, third-party plugins. Right behind, LTS is informal, newest stable. That's the one with the fewer Nova nodes. Fantastic. Okay. Multiplayer release milestone. Hello, how are you this fine Thursday? I assume it's Thursday where you are. Be a very weird. Yeah. Wait until after your curling work is reached. Yeah, sure. Okay, that makes sense. Great. Here we are. We've got my game. And play this level in the active editor. Oh, this is not the level I'm looking for. It blew up. Okay, that's fine. It can blow up when I mess with it. Multiplayer gameplay. Here we go. Make it sure. Ooh. Oh no, that's fine because I just need to get a command. Okay. That. Let's see here. Source. My running notes are in here. No, it has a CLI. Well, the CLI is very useful because that means that I could use AI in Obsidian, but I'm not planning on it anytime soon. Book closed. One more. Where's one more? All right. Run server. Here we go. Very cloudy Thursday. It started getting hot here. It's gonna be. I'm gonna start sweating from now until November. Yeah, it will be very hot. Very cloudy Friday. Right. Right. Yesterday was our family day, so I lost track of what day it was. Yeah. Yes. All right. Here we go. We got my backend server running now, and everything works. Great. Um, and now and that's interesting. So I need to go over here. I should fix that. Well, I should test it in standalone mode, but all right. Enzymology, art process. Let's look at art process. I'm actually really enjoying playing with this, with the word generation availance stuff, because it's just fun. Um, a technique involving, like, who knows, Watu. Um, no, that's from Umpqua is definitely a word. Uh, Alternative, sure. Qualm. Okay, so I think three of them are true this time. Let's see here. False, 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 true, true. Okay. Qualm. Yeah. All right. Um, well, that's interesting. Okay. Something odd is going on here. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I can do this. Sure. I've suddenly got an error in the code for code. Paste it. Pretty sure that blew up. It's a lot easier to use. In this case, I'm using Epics. Steam, I don't know how the Steam multiplayer features work in depth, but because I'm working with UE and because I plan on selling, I have scheduled my release on the Epic Game Store for about a month and a half from now, which is a little concerning and a little pressured. But this particular application, let's see here, let's go into Paint. This particular application, there are three different multiplayer sort of things going on. One is the REST server. This is just a basic REST server that I'm hosting. I would probably work very hard to do without this REST server if I were um, if I were working with just the multiplayer. Um, for a couple reasons, but it's just cheaper and easier to use the other servers. So the other servers that are relevant, if we've got an Epic EGS server, and for this I have lobby stuff, and that's really that's really the meat of how multiplayer works, or the meat of what happens through the EGS server. Lobby stuff, some authentication. And it's cross-platform. And then here we have backend. So peer-to-peer. Now, in order of maintenance difficulty, this is going to be 3, 2, 1. So this has the most maintenance. Most flexibility. This has flexibility. Let's not just say flexibility. Most ease of use for me. Now I specifically, yeah. So Epic has, the reason that I'm using the Epic EGS stuff is because they have specifically designed their multiplayer. They basically have free multiplayer server stuff for game developers, because it's not that much data and overhead for them. They're already running. I would assume that the EGS servers, for what I'm doing, they cost about as much as an IRC or less than an IRC server would cost. They cost virtually nothing to keep up and running. They can do it 24/7, 365. They do it 24/7, 365 for Fortnite, and they just, have some load balancing that allows people that, like me, that are doing small stuff, and big companies that don't want to do it, to simply use resources that they probably consider negligible and are already always on and maintained by people who are professionals, and so they make the whole ecosystem a lot stronger simply by existing and allowing other people to use it. The real heavy data transfer, I mean, these servers even do voice, so I could add voice to the game, and I don't think it would do a lot. It would increase the data transfer amount for Epic by a whole lot, but it certainly would. But even then, I'd need to have a lot of games to affect their bandwidth bills. And honestly, because setting up voice would be, if I were to use the voice stuff that Epic provides, it'd be a lot easier to do it in a UE, and it's very likely that the only people who are really using the built-in voice and stuff that EGS servers use. I did not know that. I did not know that Steam had free serverless support for P2P multiplayer and voice too. Well, P2P multiplayer is different from lobbies. I think Steam has lobbies too. But my concern was that because I'm running Epic First Run and I expect a fairly small player base, because it's kind of an edge product, at least at first, we all hope our game goes viral several thousand times so that we end up with millions of users, but that's probably not going to happen with this. I can't count on it. I would like people to be able to play multiplayer if they buy it on Epic, or if they buy it on Steam with people that buy on that have bought on Epic or Steam. And also, I built this plugin here in writer um, that does the lobby management stuff and starts to handle multi-platform login. Um, so that somebody who's playing on Steam or I mean, I guess you could do on the Xbox Live network. One of the revenue streams I might hope to might be able to chase at some point would be a monthly live. The be part of the monthly live or Amazon package or some other package of games um, that somebody working with a subscription model would pay me, and I'd be in their, in their bundle of games for the month. Humble Bundle may, nah, I don't really want to do Humble Bundle yet, but eventually I'll probably end up doing Humble Bundle. I mean, there's lots of different game packages that people buy games as part of that I could get paid to be part of, and being able to handle cross-platform authentication will allow me to sell a little easier to some of those in the end, I hope. So Epic's servers, because Epic is a well-funded attempted competitor to Steam, and I'm already working in UE, just made more sense to me to use them instead of the Steam ones, because I'm not sure it goes the other way. I'm not sure that Steam. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, you need to pay $100 to publish on Steam or on Epic. Um, yeah, it's not really pay $100. Um, you need to pay a pump priming fee of $100, where you give them $100, and then if your game makes more than $1,000, they give you the $100 back. Um, my targeted price point for the game at launch is going to be $25 on Epic, or maybe even 30, and then 20 or 25 on Steam, depending on how I do it. It's that I put enough effort into it that I think it's worth that. It's pretty unique in this game space. That I know that's kind of expensive, but that's where I'm going to start, and then that gives me room to do lots of that gives me room to put it on sale for $10 occasionally, and still cover my server costs and I mean, the thing is that right now, depending on the size of the user base, um, the servers have a static cost of, for this one game, let's say $50 or $60 a month. Plus, once people start playing it, if people play it, and I need to pay for all of the AGI, all of the LLM lookups, it's going to cost me um, about, well, somewhere between a hundredth of a penny and a tenth of a penny per request made by the end user to the AI. There are ways, of course, for me to scale that and make it smaller over time as I get more responses. They're all categorized. They're all being saved. Um, and the first few million tokens or few 100,000 tokens, the first million tokens a day I'm using from the AI are being subsidized by OpenAI. Um, but getting everything together and then having lots and lots of people play it, um, it would become a notable expense. Um, I haven't reached yet a point where I am paying for it, because I'm not having 10,000 people try and play it. But if I had 2 or 3 thousand daily players, this would start costing a ton of money. Not a ton, but it would start costing me real money. You know, let's say I have 10,000 players playing 10 games a day apiece. That's 100,000 games. Um, those games cost Let's see here. Those games cost maybe 10 cents a piece to play. So that's, oh God, no, they can't be 10 cents a piece to play. Well, if I have 100,000 games and I have, well, I had I had ChatGPT do a, let's have ChatGPT do that again while I'm thinking about it. Yes, proceed. Okay, well, let's go. Okay. I'm curious about my LLM costs. And if I reach the point where I was paying, like 20 or 30 bucks a day in AI fees, it would definitely make sense for me to find an AI that was open source and could do most of what I want. And then specifically, as far as word generation, then specifically open up AWS servers for that. Because what I'm doing is very, very simplistic. But having a ton of users that have paid for a game is a good problem to have that I don't have yet. So I'm working on building a good game first. Huh? Given, let's see here, API usage, usage dashboard. All right, so let's get this sign in total spend. Okay, so responses in chat completion in April. Okay, so let's see, input tokens, spend categories. Let's see, where do we get my output tokens? .5 turbo output. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Usage. Okay, so I've had okay, 323 requests. Tokens spent. I'm curious. Actually, I'm going to do this by hand because I'm not going to trust the AI to do this. Okay, so 323 requests. What is this? Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for an empty spreadsheet document. Okay, so 323 requests. 5816 tokens. So we do, this is total tokens would be equals this divided by this. So we have 172, 100 and about, let's go 175. 175 tokens per request or so. Why is this not? Why is that doing that? Okay. All right. And that goes there. So 175 tokens per request. Let's say I get let's say I get 5 bot definitions per game, bot definition requests per game, and I get 35. Oops. And 5 players, 5 rounds. That's 25 player definition requests per game. Okay. So we have 30 total requests per game. We do that times that. 5250. And 1 million tokens costs OpenAI cost per token per model. API pricing. All right. So GPT 5.4 nano, that's 5.4, right? But I'm not even using that. I'm using detailed pricing, flagship models, specialized models, pricing models. I'm using the I'm not using 5.4 mini. 4.0 view wall. I'm not even sure they'll let me do it anymore. Okay, 4.0 mini, fastest, tiny, costs absolutely close to nothing. 15 cents per 1 million tokens. Okay, so equals that divided by that equals that times 0.15. Wrong order. It's got to be 6 divided by B6 divided by B7. So the way this all works out is this is tokens per game. This is this is equals no, this we're just gonna go this, and then this is 1 million tokens, and this is percentage of 1 million tokens. Well, let's not even do that. Let's do it this way. Let's do 1 million tokens. Then this is okay, so this is 1 million tokens. This is 0.15 divided by that. So that's cost per million tokens. Cost per token. And then we multiply that times that, and that's cost per game. Let's say 10,000 games a day. And then we do equals that times that. So $7 a day. GPT 120B OSS model. Let's see here. Yeah. with O4 Mini. Oh, 4.0 Mini. Oh, wow. Okay. Um, Interesting. Okay. So here we go. So if I wanted to replace ChatGPT 4.0 Mini with the open source model, with that substitution be a difficult installation? Could I put it onto an AWS server? How much would the server cost me daily? Okay. That's a cool idea. Yeah, right. That's the open source model. Let's see how much it costs me. Okay. So right. Okay. So definition generation volume for in a word game, likely under $1 a month. Well, I calculate it out as 10,000 games a day would cost me around $7 a month. Let's see here. If I'm using around 5,200 tokens a game, $10 a day, around 5,200 tokens a day. So if I'm serving up 40,000 games a day, it might make sense, right? But then I have all sorts of other problems to worry about, and at that math, I get a few economies of scale. Right? Okay. Right. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. And now you're managing industry crossover point where self-hosting actually wins out is probably 100K plus games a day. And by then, yes, you have much bigger fish to fry. Database connection pooling at that scale. Your fast API backend at the is a bottleneck before the LLM is. Oh, that's fucking great. Oh, sorry. Pardon my English. CDN caching for definitions. Mini words repeat pre-cache generating cache aggressively. Unreal dedicated server capacity. Oh God. approximately how many players am I talking if I have that kind of load? How where do upscaling the database and REST server stop solving the problem? The problems, and approximately what peak loads are we looking at? How much of this is just pie in the sky, hope, and how much of it can I handle without staff short notice? Let's see here. What do we got here? Copy link address. DeepSeek 3.2, Claude Sonnet, Claude Max. Yeah, these don't even talk about. Yeah, so you're looking at this price graph. GPT-4o Mini, which is the really tiny one, is down. Let's see here. Yeah, GPT-4o Mini is cheaper than all this other stuff. And it doesn't need to be that smart. Yeah, I mean, GPT-4o Mini, for what I'm asking it, vertical scaling plus adding fast AI instances. Okay, let's see here. Player estimate, 40,000 days a game. Okay, 40,000 players a day, games a day. 10-minute average game, 2 games a day per user means 20,000 daily active users, 250 to 400 concurrent peak. Same game length, 1 game a day is 40,500 to 800 concurrent peak. Jesus fucking Christ. If I sell 40,000 copies of this goddamn game, said 40,000 copies of this game, I would be very surprised and happily. HTTP polling doesn't scale. You need WebSockets, dedicated state layer, write contention on game state tables. Unreal dedicated server instances. Each game needs one. Auto provisioning, though, these is non-trivial. Probably 2,000 to 5,000 concurrent games. Short notice. 3 to 5. Okay, where it stops working. What would be your estimate on estimate or expectation on current architecture load capacity. Current um, $15 to $30. That's much lower than I thought it would be. But if that's spread out across but the connections themselves are generally going to be quick open close connections. Database isn't doing heavy work very often. I don't think. I'd assume new definition insert would end up being the most problematic. Especially as that table scale. So I'd assume I have a little headroom and 50 concurrent connections is maybe 100 concurrent games, which equates to enough revenue to scale up servers a little because I've sold maybe 15,000 copies at that point. manageable problem. Pie in the sky. My word is. I just need time to re-architect. And refactor the code slightly. I hope I do not need to structure restructure definitions, so I need to recycle them unless things go really good, go completely sideways. Thank you. All sorts of viable heating, and I want relevant, so it just makes the game a better game, worth playing. Shopping quality in your money is not indie developer behavior. Right. Then I also have a massive problem space explore. It's weird fast because definition also given category possibilities, and picking category gives the player a feeling of control. So the underlying problems are actually heavily combinatoric. Lazy generating, yeah. All right. I have Yet again, out argued my AI help. I'm the non AI help at this point, I think. But talked about the edge cases of my specific game until it gave up on me and was like, "You're right." Okay. Bum 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 bum. I think this game is going to be cool. I hope people will enjoy it once I release it. Bum 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 bum. All right, so here we go. What we need to do now, is figure out from the other AI whether it. Oh, yes. Your code now writes the news, but DB never got the stats migration. Oops. Okay, so it's trying to do. That's interesting. It should have gotten the stats migration. This will tell us, okay. Let's see if this works now. Ohio. State. No. Ohio. Just say, what is it? It's a theological perspective. Revelation over individual doctrine. Sure. Creativity. No. No. Maybe. No. Cora? Okay, fine. That was a weird round. Okay, so now I need to be ready for next round. Oh, I broke it. What happened? Okay, check and call host ready. Great. Host is ready. Host is ready. Okay, so we're back to waiting for round start. Oh, and I need to put that into the player score after the after the player controller. Okay, so it okay, so it got it worked. No source files were changed by me. Great. So we want to go back into, open these up. Let's see. Graph. Let's go with, this is the score row. I don't want the score row. I don't need the score row. I need the scoreboard panel graph. That's fine. Multiplayer root UI. This is where I need the the event graph. Where is the show round results? Progressive reveal, and I'm going to give the progressive reveal in the scoreboard panel. Current player score. Oh, okay, so current player score. And let's see here. And then I want let's see here, player That's really interesting. Root UI. Add scores to panel. Okay, so it does add scores to panel, and then it does progressive reveal. And progressive reveal needs a broadcast player name and score. So we go here, compile this, add input parameters. Need a player name as a string, and we need a current score as an integer. And okay, all right. And then Delete. This doesn't go in the root UI. It goes in the scoreboard panel. And here we want player score reveal. And we want a player name string. And we want a player score, player current score. And that is going to be an integer. And then score display row. Score display row is going to do what? That's not what I'm using. Player score row. I hope I can just delete this. I want to delete it. Okay, well that's not useful. That's not very nice. Okay, and score. And player name. Okay, now I need to take the this is not the right one. And then we get to the scoreboard panel. Okay. Then we broadcast this. Hey. Hey. This should be cast to a player round node. Oh, okay. Your name. Very straightforward. Okay. And whoa. And um, um, try update. Let's take try update score. This we're gonna just have a score and player name. Okay. Branch. Oh. Um, get local player. Get player state. Get player to multiplayer player state. Um, so maybe they'll work. Let's see if this is in the database. Yep. No. No, they did all false things. Let's see. Did it change my score? No, it did not. Let's look at this here in the root UI. Let's look at this branch. Add breakpoint. Make it soil silence. Go from there. Pull it down, hairy. Okay, so apparently it was a real word. Lippity. I don't think any of these. Piley, okay. Yeah, all right. Okay. Oh. That's interesting. The root UI needs to subscribe to try update score. Yeah, okay. That's what happened here is I missed this. Okay. Civic. Numerology. Yes. Who knows what specific means in numerology? There we go. Whiff. Yeah, there we go. Fissit? No. Fisi? No, I don't think so. Okay, well, let's see if this just works. Okay. Did not just work. Okay. Should be good enough. Oh. Wait. Didn't I have... I did not set it up again. I didn't say, oh yeah, pause when you're doing this. Okay, so we're gonna add a breakpoint here again. We're gonna see what's wrong. Zoof. No, that's obviously a Dr. Seuss word. Zoof. That's also probably a Dr. Seuss word. It's just less. Food and drink. A type of fermented beverage. I don't think any of these are real. There's no way any of these are real. Okay, so we've got dev stream, dev token. Oh. Okay. Um, um, get the local player's name from the to match with the backend data passed out in store. Trying using the game state or player state right now. Right now, it doesn't match. And we get a musical interlude because this is taking longer than expected. backend player ID? Really? Okay, well, I'm going to need to change. There's going to need to be a display conversion somewhere, but let's just see if that works. No, no, no. Rounds results player name. Um, um, Hmm. Okay. This is a long time for you to expose a variable for me. Yes, proceed. Okay, so we've moved. Yeah. I know that it's running, so it's locked. Let's look at fork. Let's see what all changed here. Nope, that's not it. All right, one more. Here we come. Local changes. Root. Yeah, these are all, well, those all need to be staged as just backend score changes. These are, okay, those are, wow, those are things that I did last week or a couple days ago. Let's see, where is the things that are actual C# changes? Oh, I need to fill this myself. Oh, that makes it less impressive. Okay. Scoreboard updates and infrastructure. Okay. All right. Push. Okay. All right. It looks like there are some people watching, and I'm very happy about that. But I'm also, well, all right. Let's see if I can get this implemented in the next few minutes. So this backend player ID, I'm going to need to close this whole thing and compile it again. Save selected. It won't be a big compile because all it changed was some stuff, some plumbing, I hope. Let's see here. I can go through while it's building the various changes. Okay, so what it wants me to do, main changes, display name to word game player state. Okay, great. Server set identity, word game player state. Okay. Now refreshes from the platform lobby display name when the replicated display name arrives and the identity is copied across the word player. Multiplayer now resolves the local display name from lobby auth first, then Steam EOS nickname, then fallback data, and applies it with the backend MP player's me ID in word game multiplayer. So it creates game no longer falls back from backend player ID to stable player ID. Invalid backend IDs are skipped, logged instead in multiplayer server client. Added blueprint helper. Find round players so that UI can pass a word game player states and match score results by player ID, not by name, in the word management function library. Oh, so that's why it took so long and did so much, because it needed to cut through a few layers of what was happening. Okay, so it needed to cut through a few layers of what was happening so that it could make that helper, and the helper now allows me to do what I wanted to do. Fair enough. Fair enough. The helper allows me to do what I wanted to do. Yeah. Close the editor debug session and start all over again. Okay, here we go. Boot up Unreal again. Um, um, I need to be here. Multiplayer root UI. I need to be in the graph. Man, my brain is. I need to. My brain is off today. It's just not on. Um, 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 wait. What all did I delete? I deleted this. I don't want the player state. I think I just want to go straight here, and I want to equivalent the player name. Try update score is in. It should get a backend player ID. We'll break this link just because equal, and then we go here, we get local player ID, take this, put it here. Fine. And then we go here into the player score row, and the player score row stores a backend player ID, and backend player ID gets set where the set backend player ID and backend player ID here. Okay, and then in the scoreboard panel, the player score reveal gets backend player ID added to it. And player ID, manager, and What? Backend player ID is now in player score row. Oh, okay, here, I just got it off the rest thing. Back in player ID, that in here. I have more information than I need. That's messy, but it's fine. Balloonaloo. It is a festival. Cultural festival. Balloonaloo. Traditional music alongside. Okay, Boln. No. No. Blown. Nope. And noble. Yes. Okay. So. Okay. Remove breakpoint. Let's see. No, I fooled one player and it was a lot of points. Okay. Let's see here. Score 0. Okay, well, flannel expression. Okay, here we go. Bang. Yes. House band. Okay, let's go that. Mahang and Bhavan. Wow. Okay, so I just got creamed that round. Okay, and then we need scoreboard panel. Oh, I made a mistake, as always. Add breakpoint. I just need to see what all these things are. All right, my score is still 0 locally. Mysticism. Ouijiao. Okay, well, this bug is going to go unsolved until later tonight when I stare at it and try and fix it. Arrangement of colored stones and panel. Anju, I know. No. Sure, maybe. I don't know. A Saju. Okay, so we've got local player ID. So local player ID is not backend player ID is 0. Local player ID is -1. So that's okay, but local player ID is going to stay -1. Right. Okay, where am I supposed to init it? Where am I supposed to init this? And it seems that I've got a 0 on the server and a -1 locally. This might imply is it possible my internet needs to work out? Okay. Well, all right. So I did not solve it immediately. There was virtually no forward progress on the actual code today during the stream. But there was some. There was a little forward progress. There's a check-in. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna have to do more work on this tonight. I will see everybody who's willing to show up tomorrow. I think I'll be working again tomorrow. I think I'll be streaming again tomorrow. And I am very grateful for everybody who did check in. Have yourselves nice days.